Namaste. Today is April 2nd and the tulips are just budding out. And I have lots of daffodils coming out and hyacinth are blooming. And I'm going to turn the camera around, show you guys like a quick tour of what's happening in the garden. This year I'm planning to put more flowers in this garden than vegetables actually. So let's go see, zoom in. This is spinach, Methi or Fenugreek and Cilantro, which was planted 3 weeks ago. Cilantro is getting its true leaves now. And Methi too. They have at least three sets of leaves now. That is a weed, that thing which looks like they have very long taproot. It's very hard to get rid of them. And it produces more roots and then keeps coming back. So nothing else in this garden but that. It's empty, but for that lone Swiss chard which was planted from last year, I mean, it will be fine. I can probably harvest a few leaves before it goes bolting. And this is tulips which were planted last year. So this is their second year, and I had planted like a whole bunch of them in different colors, 4 different colors, only yellow has come back. So these are called Darwin varieties, and sometimes they don't come back. Like most tulips don't come back. Some are perennial varieties, and if they come back, we are very lucky. So I'm happy to have a few reds, which will bloom a little later, I guess, and then we have some yellow ones. The rest of them, which were kind of in the center of all of this, they didn't come back. And there is not reason why, because it's just the variety of the tulips. An orange variety, arbor rose, which means it gets very, very large and has to send out canes so it can climb up. This is the first year it actually has sent out the cane. This is the 3rd year sitting here. It acted like a bush all these years, but this year it has sent out a cane in the fall, which I trained it to go over the fence like this, so I can have like a nice showing of roses. The garden is always in the cleaning mode, guys. These were all, I had planted all of these seedlings in the other garden. I need to take that inside. This is an empty garden bed. What you see there, let me see if I can zoom in. No, okay, there you go. So those are called sorrel, which are edible, and they drop seeds and they come back every year. Now that part of the bed is sorrel bed. This is ready to harvest. I can come in and harvest all those leaves and it will be ready to eat right now. They're tart, they're a little astringent, which I really bed. Those are some bok choys which I started from seed and transplanted them, just 3. And this side of the section has some radishes, some beets, and some spinach. This is a tower I think this is called greenstock. I got this last year for the patio. Right now it is sitting here. I have lots of seedlings which I need to transplant. That's for tomorrow. I'm going to be transplanting some seedling in this tomorrow, and probably directly some seeds. And then I'm going to place it in the patio to kind of harvest like herbs and stuff. We'll see what that goes. 2 more beds here. This is my green bag where I collect all the trash and everything. So not trash, like compost. Okay, let's see what's happening here. So this 2 beds are peas mostly. 2 varieties of peas, and this one will grow very tall, and this variety of peas grows about 3 feet tall. So this need a trellis, which will come back and then put some trellis in. Okay, I think I need to do this so you can see. Oh, there you go. So they are already, these were planted I would say 15th of March. So 15 days, 2 weeks growth. They're nicely coming out. And spinach, I started them some seedlings and then seeds, and then I transplanted them 3 days ago. Another rose bush there, that is Jekyll. It's an English rose. I'm planning to put like another trellis there so it can act like a climber. It's not a huge climber. I can manage it into a shrub. I wanted like a nice, flower, permanent flower structure in that edge of the garden bed because it's so dark in there. So I thought some flower would be nice. So I put the a rose bush there. Excuse all the mess, but that is the garden bed we just walked through. The garden is pretty clean. I just have to pick up these things. I should have done this before I started the video, but I'm never that mindful. Okay, let's go here now. So this is outside of the garden bed, which I started this a year ago. And we had some extra paving stones from the other part of the patio, which I picked up and then lined them up last fall to kind of create a little garden bed here. This one will mainly be herbs. I've got rosemary in there. I've got some feverfew, which are seeding from the last year. Let's see if we can zoom in. I'm still learning to work the camera, guys. Sorry. There you go. So this feverfew, that's the mother plant, which is dead, but sent me some seedlings, which will have like beautiful flowers, great for pollinators. They're actually edible too. I've got one rosemary bush which I started last year, so it will become a little bit better comeback this year. I started some cilantro, some parsley here, and I'm going to come and put in basil and thyme and oregano, not mint, that will spread. So everything, so this will be a nice herb garden. And then I might come in and put some flowers in to make it pretty. I had some muscari, which I bought from sale very late in the season. I stuck them in the planter. Muscaris are basically that, like, if you see those grape hyacinths. So they should have been blooming by now, but they're not. I don't know what's up with that. I do see some sprouting up. Hopefully they will, if they don't, that means they're just kind of be very, very small this year, because they need to send out very big shoots. Either this planter is very small for them, or I don't know, maybe I started them very late, they're a little confused, I don't know. I think I will plant them, once this finish blooming, I will actually move them and then plant them in permanently in a garden bed, either in the front garden or in the back here, and they'll do a good job. I think I'm going to pick like at least 1 or 2 tulips and take them inside with a hyacinth. So this is the garden bed. This is how it's looking. This is outside, and then we're going to go in. Look at that. That makes me so happy. The methi and the cilantro. We get a little jaded after the garden season starts, and then you have plenty of everything. But in the beginning, when you've been sitting in the cold, and my hands are already freezing, and you can actually see some vegetables coming out of your garden and you're ready to harvest, it's always a joy. There's always something happening in this garden all the time. I'm not a super organized gardener, guys, but it's productive. Okay. So we're going to turn around the camera and then just quickly see what's happening in the front garden. It has lots of daffodils. Because I do like to have some flowers blooming throughout the season. So I planted things which kind of bloom periodically. So you won't have this one flush of beautiful garden, but then you'll have like little bit, every time I come out of the garden, sorry, to the house to look at the garden. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around and then show you what's happening in the front garden. It's mostly weeded out. The weeds are already popping back again, but that's fine. This section is not weeded out because there are some plants which I wanted to save and I wasn't sure which were weeds and which were not, so I left it. But I do see some violas popping, so I will come in here and clean that today. Let's start here from this. This is like a pathway. Again, the pathway needs to be weeded off. I usually wait until the first week of April to do it, which I'm going to do today. Tomorrow is nice weather. I'm going to be cleaning all this pathway and then, taking care of it. Okay, let's look from here. There's nothing here. We had some crocuses which bloomed a couple of weeks ago. Now it's gone. And I usually come in here and put some pots for summer blooming plants. And this is absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous daffodil. This is an absolutely gorgeous daffodil. There are 2 varieties. They look very similar. I don't know. Let me actually pick one and then show you guys. So this is like a pale, if you see it grows in a cluster like this, and it's pale yellow with a darker yellow center, right? And then, so we have a few of those groupings here, but there's also one, which is this one. Let me pick one. Oh. Which is dark yellow and an orange center. They kind of look very similar if you don't pay attention, but they do have a different coloring, and I absolutely enjoy them. What else we got? So lots of daffodils. This is creeping Jenny, which is this chartreuse leaf. It will spread. I try to keep it controlled by kind of weeding out all the time, so it kind of grows only in this patch for me. I don't allow it to grow everywhere. Lots of different, peonies. We have a lot of peonies in this garden. So this is a red one, which is coming up. I think we'll have some shoots of that. Also a beautiful, look at that. So this is a green and a yellow peony. Start with the name S, and then it has this snowflake like a tip, which is white tip, which is gorgeous when it blooms. I'll show you guys next week when it blooms completely. Again, more daffodils, the same two. These are the 2 varieties which are popping right now. So they're dotted everywhere here. So more daffodil varieties, they will come soon. What is happening else? What else is happening here? yeah, apart from peonies popping, not much. Okay, here, let's turn around. This is garlic chive, so you can actually eat the leaves. Like, it's really excellent with eggs. If you're making like flatbreads or parathas or even on like a naan or something, they're very, very tasty. The more you cut, the more it blooms. So I usually come in and keep cutting all the time. More daffodils, which are late bloomers, they will come later. That is a patch of iris, which will have purple long flowers. And I started that, if you see, let me zoom in. Oop. Yeah, those 4 plants there. Black-eyed Susan. I started them indoors this year and I just planted them yesterday. They look nice. We've got 3 agastache, which grows about 3 feet tall. This is a Sasha daisy, which was the original. I had borrowed a very small patch from my friend, and then I have divided this and I've planted everywhere in the garden, given away to so many people. A very, very nice. This is Veronica. This will bloom again into purple cone flowers. This one again was one plant. I divided into 3 sections, one there, one all the way there, and then one here. Gardening can be very expensive if you wanted to kind of an immediate result and if you want immediate gratification. But if you have patience and give yourself 5 years to allow the garden to slowly come into its own, you won't spend a lot of money. For me, at least, it feels like I'm also developing patience to kind of seeing it through. It is for my own joy. It is not for show. It is not like I don't care about how it will look to others. This is really my place to enjoy and experiment. So I have a lot of patience when it comes to gardening. So lots of things I start from seed, or I buy one plant, I divide them, and I experiment with all of that, which is really the process of gardening I enjoy. Also, these are, if you see these tiny little plants, these are columbine. Again, I started from seed last year. I don't even know what color they're going to be. I don't know, yellow or purple. I never saw them blooming last year because I started very late, planted them this year. So that will be a grouping. They will, grow a little beautiful grouping and give me some flowers. Agastaches. Oh, no, this is let me step in. Something has come and dug into the garden, if you see. This is a very sweet looking daffodil. These are my absolute favorite. I think Pablo, Pueblo, something like that. They're spelled. They're like, I don't know. They just have a lot of they kind of grow in a grouping of 3. But they are so sweet. They have I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Some flowers just are very sweet. Some flowers are very robust. Some flowers are very pretty. And I categorize this into sweet. I don't know. There's just a very sweetness, delicate feeling about this, and I absolutely love them. More daffodils there. They have, I think, orange inside. Oh, yeah. They have that orange inside. The hyacinth has been blooming for 2 weeks now. They will be like this for another week, and they will be gone. And I came out of the path, and now we will go ahead and look at this. So this is another daffodil. Okay, here we go. It has a lot of ruffles. I think it's called lingerie. I have no idea. I remember planting at least 6 of them. Last year also, only 1 of them flowered. This year also only 1 of them flowered. So I don't know what happened to the other 5 bulbs either. This is another one, which is very, very sweet. Look at that. How can you not love it? How can you not love it? Oh, it's gorgeous. Ruffles, and the center is a little orange ruffle. Beautiful. Oh. Garden. This is tulips, which I moved them from a bucket. I was kind of holding them last, all through winter. It was sitting in a tub, and then I moved them. I have some ferns there which need to be transplanted, moved into back garden. They like to be in shade. That beautiful thing there is sedum. It's kind of hiding in there. I'm kind of leaving it alone because the deers love it. So because it's so far out there, they haven't eaten it. So I kind of like that it kind of sits there. Peonies, some roses, hyacinths, and some all the way back there are some alliums which will come. And the poppies which I planted are sprouting. Let me show you. A couple of weeks ago, I had come and sprinkled some poppies. If you see those seeds popping up. So once the hyacinths are gone, you will see some poppies coming up in that region, which will bloom in 2 months. So that's nice. That's a very quick tour of the side two gardens. The other garden I am going to, because there's nothing to really show there. There's nothing happening right now. So I'll show it in maybe a month when the asparagus begins to sprout and the plants which I've planted will start taking over. This, I try to keep it as quick as I can because like I'll try to spend a little bit of extra time whenever things are blooming. The things are blooming, I'll give a little bit of time. I'm still getting used to doing this. I hope to make this every 2 weeks or maybe even every week if there is things growing and looks beautiful. I hope to do this every 2 weeks and you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. This is April 2nd. My name is Savita Ennir.